Greetings, everybody. This is our fourth, zooming past, of the Greene Fyre Review, second monthly, all-day, live streaming, truth teller, citizen journalist, art of living in strange times, marathon. And this is Will. Say hi, Will. Stick your head in so we can see you. Will is here producing. He's been doing an incredible job. He's got us all using this new tech, which isn't as good as View, but which we'll have. And Gerard got us started off this morning talking about love with Claudia. It was wonderful and heart-centered. Felt like I was at church. Now we're going to transition a little bit into Brother Gerard's going to preach to us how plants and growing your own food are love in action. All right. So Will's going to pop off and Gerard, just get us started.
All right. So, but no preaching. No preaching.
Okay, we love preaching. Get us inspired.
No, because I'm not preaching at anybody. You know what I'm doing? We talk about things that we've always done, right? These are things that our families, our ancestors, going back, maybe 60, 70 years?
Okay, teaching, not preaching. Will you forgive me?
No, what's that?
I said teaching, not preaching.
Yeah, teaching and learning, because when you're teaching, you're learning at the same time as well.
That's right.
Like I say, it's funny to me, but the vast majority of teaching that was done as a father, as me being a father, was my kids teaching me. So being a parent, and a lot of teachers say that in the classroom, they learn just as much from the children as they teaching. So absolutely. But going back 60, 70, 80 years, we all grew food. Growing food is we started growing food after we stopped being hunter-gatherers, and we've grown food ever since until 60, 70 years ago. So growing food is more human than cell phones. Growing food is more human than automobiles.
Say it ain't so. I know people want to have, I think everybody believes that within 2 years, within 18 months, iPhone is going to roll out this little phone that has a little blob tube that you put blob into, and then you can print food out of it, and you never have to it'll be have a little tube, an IV that has protoplasm, and you can just pull up a picture of an apple and print it out of your phone using your 3D printer. Yeah. We know it's coming. We believe it's coming. All of those plants behind you, that looks so messy.
Yes, because it's supposed to be. It absolutely supposed to be. So I am not a Victorian garden. Everything needs to be in rows and lines, and you have to have, tight rows. My grandfather was that way. No, both of them were that way. I'm not that way. We've learned that plants actually are part of the environment. Okay,
I want to know that I want you to reach behind you and find something that's actually edible and put it in your mouth and prove to us that you're growing food.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not going to be a pepper.
Oh, come on. We have to see a pepper. That's why we think up here.
You know what? No crying on the live stream. No crying on the live stream. When you start to cry on the live stream, then everyone starts to watch it. Now,
that's right. Then the audience goes up. Don't be selfish.
Yeah,
that is the pepper effect.
So let me do this.
Calling it Gerard Pepper Hay.
No, so look at this. Listen. This is what we're gonna do. Next to me, let me see. I don't know what y'all can see and what you can't see.
Oh, we can see a ton of plants back there.
All right. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Serious ton of plants.
I can barely see my camera. So I don't know if you can't see it. So I got coleus next to me. Well, first of all, let me start here. Every plant crawled out of the ocean. Okay. All plants, they all made a decision when they came out of the ocean. They decided we either like mammal human things or we hate them. We're going to poison them. And so every plant that climbed out, it brought you close and it fed you seeds and a nourishing coat with lots of sugars and leaves and things because it liked mammals and had a symbiotic relationship.
Sugar.
You carry the seeds and poop them out. And the others created poison. But the important thing to remember about that poison is that in small amounts, a lot of that's medicinal. And so every
plant has a use in the human kingdom.
Every plant has a use. And so if you don't know about the FDA and them trying to outlaw all homeopathic medicine, you need to pay attention to that. So next to me, I have a coleus. I said that because coleus, you actually can eat them. I am not going to eat my coleus.
Can you show us though? It's pretty. They're pretty. Do you have a stripy one?
You know what? It's not too big and stripy, and this one is not pretty. This one is a bonsai, actually. And I doubt I can actually get it on camera.
Oh, look at that glorious color.
Yeah, I can. So one thing I do, I grow a lot of bonsai. And the reason I grow bonsai is, one, because
you're weird? Because you're a nerd?
Because
you're a dirt nerd.
Weird is saying too much, Mary. Weird is that's going way
Gerard, dirt nerd, hey.
I'm far beyond that. I'm at the level of I spend more time with my plants probably than human beings. So and it doesn't mean I don't love human beings. It just means that plants, we have a better relationship. We've been together longer with plants than we've been with people. So
that's right. Well, those plants crawled out of your bathtub and said, "I want to serve you." Apparently.
So if you want to see me bite on something, I guess I'm not going to eat my citrus. I have orange trees above me. I'm not going to eat on that. I don't know if I can. I don't want to break the branch.
So lemon leaves smell wonderful. So just break one open and smell it, and we'll imagine it with you.
Oh, I can smell it right here. Oh, it's off. Just
give us the leaf effect.
I'm not going to hurt that baby. I'm going like that. Oh, she's got a little flower. Can you see the flower?
You have a blossom.
Does it look good in my hair?
Everyone is smell-o-vision.
So
you look like Rita Hayworth with that lemon blossom in your hair. Your hair.
Yes.
You have our hair up there, right?
Hey, citrus is good to grow. Citrus is awesome because it actually makes the house smell amazing. The citrus flower smells like pure sugar. So that's just amazing and off the hook. I've got a lantana next to me. I'm not going to eat that. It's got a pretty flower, but it's poisonous.
The creeping lantanas, yeah.
Yeah. But someone told me that I can eat a broccoli flower.
Heck yeah. Of course you can.
I've never eaten one.
So Gerard is going to eat for our vicarious benefit from this collection of plants.
Oh, you know what? I have basil. I can eat that too.
Let's do that.
There's a little basil there.
Dr. Stephanie Seneff talks about basil, if you have a British orientation or inclination.
I want a British accent. I love a British accent.
Well, let's fake one right now. Basil is one of the most effective herbs for cleaning glyphosate from the compromised digestive system, which comes about through the eating of genetically modified foods that have been sprayed with glyphosate, Roundup, and other variations of such noxious and toxic and anti-human chemicals. So, that's your basil? That's giant.
As well as it will clean out the aluminium.
And it cleans the aluminium, which is chelated and held in the body by the glyphosate. So, you have to eat some. I'm not going to let you off this. Okay,
so it's edible. Never eaten it before. One of my friends said I could eat it. The problem is I didn't pick it before it went to flower. I'm blowing flowers off of it. Let's see how it tastes. Let me see what.
It's going to be. Well, you're going to have to do a clip of Gerard eating the houseplants.
Oh, that's delicious. Oh, you know what? You know what? The thing I should have done, Mary, I released my ladybugs.
Olive oil?
I released ladybugs a few days ago. I should have checked to see if there were any on there though first.
Oh, don't eat the ladybugs. They're so cute.
I didn't see any.
Ladybugs are your garden's decorative buttons. Ladybugs are a garden's decorative buttons.
That was delicious, though. Broccoli flowers taste just like broccoli. That was amazing. I'm like,
I have to put the picture back of Chris because he's wearing a hilarious hat.
Oh, I
wish I could bring Chris on too. He's laughing his head off at you.
No, but that's okay. You know what? You're supposed to laugh. Laugh is good. Oh, you know what? There goes one right there. Hold on. Here goes some pesticide. Here we go right here. Let me see if I can show you this. Uh-oh. Nope, she jumped over. No.
Gerard, do you have the yellow ones or the red ones?
The ladybug, I got the orange ones. This is the
orange one.
Yeah, well, that ladybug.
The yellow one. Yeah, the yellowish ones.
She didn't want to get on camera, so she just flew away. But That's pesticide. Pesticide, that's natural pesticide. That's not the pesticide that'll kill you that everybody's
Chris Lowe says you're living in the little shop of horrors.
Yes. Oh, you know what? And I got some plants that'll kill you too. I got some of those too. I have some bastards in here, but so I got a whole bunch of stuff from citrus.
We grow digitalis. It's so pretty. I mean, if anyone ever had a heart problem and they needed to be stimulated, and we were in the post living in the post pharmaceutical corporation world, we could just go out there and like chew on our little foxgloves.
It's natural. This is what we've always done.
We have a huge herb garden, and I grow a lot of them simply out of sheer stubbornness. Not that I know how to use them, but simply because I'm a Victorian lady, goddammit, even though I swear like a Boston sailor, because I get a little bit of both in me, or an Irish sailor.
Sometimes you got to.
But we have a giant herb garden.
Okay.
Beautiful. Like big spiral. I'm making like mosaic pavers for it. But I've showed you the pictures of our garden in the back, right? We have all of the Victorian beds that are lined up. We call it the farmatory. It's going to be really fun this spring when we get everything growing in it.
Oh, it
has to be fun, Gerard. I'm getting old. I'm going to be 60 in 3 years, and I'm like, man, life has got to start being beautiful and fun.
That's not old. Life starts at 60. That's what life starts at 60.
I think so too.
You know, you're pretty much an idiot to hit 60. You're just a child. But that life it gets going at 60, and then it gets going to 70. That's when life really gets going.
It's just, well, when you get to the point where you've gotten over your ego enough so that you realize that you're not alive unless you're sharing, unless you've come up against that ego resistance and you've been able to put some holes in it. Ooh. And you're able to start growing food. Like I think of my garden as my art project for the community. I'm so excited when people walk by and they stop and they go, and you know that it's their first deep breath of the day. And it's because they're looking at my out of control iris patch, or the morning glories that grew to the sky, or the sunflowers which grow naturally all over the Southwest. You give them a little water, you get sunflowers. We get 9-foot sunflowers out there, and people say, your yard is magical. And I feel like I did something. I want to run out and say, here, and taste this basil leaf. And my husband's like, stop scaring the neighbors. Stop. You're scaring them. And I'm like, but I'm autistic and this is my 47 matches.
Well, but it's artistic, and people are walking past everybody's yard.
Autistic, just changing the R-O-U. Yeah, whatever.
Well, people are walking by, they're breathing in all the carcinogens from all the lawns and all the lawn care chemicals they spray. Then they walk past your yard and they get that fresh air. They get to breathe. Their lungs get a break. You know, they can actually take in oxygen how they're supposed to. They're not choking on the.
I know.
And sometimes saving lives.
And sometimes I'm out there dressed like Emily Dickinson in my white Victorian house dress, and I wait until they go by, and then I ceremoniously like bite the head off of a broccoli flower, and they just sort of like.
But you have to do that, and plus you're reminding them of who we are, right? We're not these little office creatures.
We are animals.
We are in the natural world. We are biological creatures that just forgot who the heck we are, and we're pretending to be these symbiotic cyborgs with these smartphones and laptops. You got to get out in nature, and this is why my gardens, they are not pretty. I like forests. I like food forests.
Your gardens are not pretty.
No, my dear.
What, pray tell, is the point of your jardiniere if it doesn't stimulate the concupiscence of desire for verdant explications of heaven's soulful almations? I just made up half the words.
I know.
I don't
know my anger against the crown. I don't believe that the lords and the kings should drive our lifestyle. I don't feel that we should always mimic
Who the fuck needs to have a little square with a little garden with a little hedge? You don't need that. You just need something green.
Give me a little pepper leaf.
Pepper? I'm drooling.
And so I got a little pepper plant. I have a coffee plant.
I do this thing like where I get like all like amorous about food, and I like start drooling and my like tongue comes out, and I think it's really sexy. You know, people think it's super gross.
Well, you know, it's not about other people.
See, that wasn't sexy at all.
Yeah, I know, but you got to be you. It's not about other people.
No, you're supposed to say, "Oh, I'm sure that was sexy to somebody special."
Oh, it always is. It always is. But you got to do you. If it's sexy,
You are not good for my ego.
You got to keep doing it. I didn't know what.
Plants are sexy. Plants are sexy. Plants are sexy.
Everything is sexy. Everything is sexy. And
Everything is sexy?
If you don't see it, then it means that your eyes don't have the right filters.
This black cohosh root that I keep around for when I have a hot flash is sexy.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's just keeping me from melting into a puddle of menopause.
And it fits into the natural world. And if it fits into the natural world, it's a beautiful thing. And if you can't see that, then you need to fix your eyes. Your eyes are broken. My
recycled potholder things that are made out of Wicks air fresheners. These are toxic. This is sexy.
Oh, wow. That is sexy. Yes, it is.
My house is filled with the craziest collection of assemblage. People are always saying your house is a museum, and we don't necessarily mean that in a good way. Elaine loves a little pepper. I'm going to put her comment down.
How is that not in a good way? I got big peppers too. I got hot peppers. I got some red chili.
All around. So you know what's great is that the winter has been miserable over there in Pennsylvania, hasn't it?
The winter has been sexy. What are you talking about? The winter has been
because I'm just imagining that your winter's been miserable and you just go into your green room and you're like, I am the god of my green garden room.
My winter has not been miserable. I come back here, I get my sun, I can bathe in the light.
No, but I meant outside.
Well, but it's natural. It's killing off all the aphids and the bugs that aren't supposed to be in this climate that reduce the crops we can't grow. So we can't grow. So no, nature does what it does. It gets cold, snow falls, and when I get sick of the snow falling, it's a reset. You gotta reset, gotta reboot. It's always a good thing, you know? But yeah, I pretty much grow everything. I have plants. I don't even know the names of them. I grow some because they're pretty. A lot of the bonsai.
How do you know if they're poisonous if you don't even know the names of them?
Well, because I don't ask the FDA.
I was going to say, you can all... Candy says she said house like she's in Wisconsin. Hoose. I have such a strange mix of all kinds of different... or a boot, right? It was sort of that's what this conversation is about, is taking all of the... it's a sort of pseudo-Canadian because I lived in Vermont for so many years, near Claudia.
Okay, yeah.
Back near Claudia, but I did go to Goddard. Ugh, what a story to tell sometime. But anyway, fake hippies, man.
Well, but that's prevalent. What do they call them? Hipsters or something like that now?
Tripsters? Dipsters?
Well, you got hippies and then you got hipsters. And hippies, hipsters are like little hippies who live in the city and they want to be hippies, but they're kind of attached to their lifestyle. So they love sustainability, they love green things, but they're living a really hard life.
A lot of those hipsters are addicted to the emaciated heroin addict effect, whether they're addicted or not. So the whole hipster thing is a bit degraded for my taste. When I was a Vermont hippie, I grew long hair and wore hippie dresses and had some interesting Terrence McKenna-like romances with
the Mushroom Man.
The mushrooms. We had some experiences with the mushrooms, which helped us to understand the minds of the baby cows that were standing in the field with us, which we didn't think were dangerous because the mushroom told us to feed them the drops from the trees with our
Terrence alone. Terrence. Is he the one who came up with Stone Ape Theory?
I don't know what Stone Age theory is, but I do know that I eat mushrooms regularly, portobellos and criminis. Oh my God, crimini mushrooms.
Yes.
And we do our own kombucha, and my husband's he's all like showing off his SCOBY, and I'm like, oh, put that thing away. It's scary. It's like a flat nutsack. It's like, old men showing off their SCOBYs.
Hey, listen, we all came from SCOBY, so,
That's right. We all came from SCOBY. We all came from symbiotic colonies of yeast, of bacteria and yeast. That's right.
I'd love to grab more. I have to see what I can even reach. There's all kind of, I got avocado growing everywhere.
Okay, show us an avocado. Oh my God, that's so great.
Well, that's growing with, actually I have one that's flowering way in the back, but this was actually, An avocado that's grown with the broccoli. I grow broccoli with the avocado.
With avocado. Companion plantings so they don't get lonely.
Yeah. Well,
it's codependent plantings.
Let me see if you can see that. Can you see the avocado? That's
yes.
The avocado.
Oh my God. So Gerard, will you talk to us about community gardening? Because people are really intimidated by the idea of actually really growing food for reals or growing food with people. Will you talk to us about community gardening?
They're intimidated. Why are they intimidated?
Well, because we sit in our fucking houses waiting for the Amazon drone to drop ship us the 3D printer with the little bags of the IV protoplasm so that we could just print the apples out of our iPhone. And we don't know how to do the whole fucking going out in the dirt thing. It's scary.
So
Help us to be unscary about community gardening.
So here's the reality. The reality is plants have been growing for 1 billion years. Long before we got here, they don't need us. You actually don't have to grow plants. They grow themselves. All of this back here is just me pretending. The plants actually grow themselves. People, what you need to do is you get some seeds and you put them in the ground.
I think I have seeds right here. I have this apothecary chest with all the crap I don't feel like organizing. Look at this.
Yeah.
Perennial Sempervivum hybridum. I'm growing lots and lots of hens and chicks because I just put them everywhere. I put them in every nook and cranny and all of the little stone walls I make.
Well, people don't know that you can grow hens and chicks. They're succulent, and they don't know you can grow them here in very cold and wet climates.
They grow all over Colorado. You just put them on a little. You put them on a tray with a wet paper towel, and you cover it with saran wrap, and you put it in the windowsill until you get these little green blebs. And then you can take the little green blebs and you can just take them outside and you can just put them in sand or in the cracks of things, and they grow into these adorable little guys.
You put them out there.
How damn cute those are. Oh, and you can see and look at how unfancy my fingernails are because I garden and I make shit all year round, and why bother?
Hey, that's called vaccination. It's a good thing.
That's right. It's my dirt inoculations.
You got to get your hands in the dirt.
It's my dirt scenes, my dirt inoculations.
Yeah, and that takes you back to Terence McKenna and all that fungi.
That's right, because when you get the mycelium into
your hands in it,
into your skin, then you have a conversation with the mushroom. And the mushroom begins to tell your skin how to behave when it comes in contact with the viruses. I know. It's like I'm the best female, redheaded, somewhat younger Terence McKenna ever.
Well, we lost Terence, of course, unfortunately. But he has he has a lot of good lectures online if anyone's interested. But Terence, he was a big guy into fungi, and he kind of explained that, fungi drove life on this planet. Hey, did you know that before the trees, we had massive mushrooms that grew all over the planet? We had tree-sized mushrooms.
Tree-sized mushrooms. Can you believe it?
Before the trees came and killed everybody.
And now the mushrooms, they have all of their mushroom mats that grow, they're like trillions of tons or whatever. Like the biggest organisms on the planet are the mushroom mats, the mycelium mats that are underneath everything. And they're just spending all of their time now gathered around their virtual campfire talking about the good old days when they were the mushroom trees that ruled everything.
And they're some of the smartest too.
Yeah. So can you talk about the learning mats in the forest? This is an amazing thing.
Well, let's talk about their intelligence, right?
Right.
So they did that experiment where they took a model of one of the Japanese, I think it was Tokyo subway system, right? And they put
my God, I know.
In locations where the stops were on the subway station, and they put the fungi on the mat. And the fungi actually grew, and once it hit every little piece of the sugars that they put there, it actually rerouted the subway system in a more efficient way than what humans did with the Tokyo subway system. So that
what you're saying is that by following the directions that the fungus grew, once it figured out which were the shortest routes, it showed that the engineers and the architects of the system how to reroute the stops so that people could get from one place to another with the fewest stops. And so that they actually could reroute the train schedule so that people could do it more efficiently. That's mind-blowing.
And it's, it doesn't stop there. That's just the surface realization. The reality is these species are so complex. It looked at how much nutrients are in this location, how much energy, and the pathways were based on how much was actually there. So it was like highly efficient on multiple levels, better than what we do. And so this is why,
amazing.
you know, some of his theories are that the way the human brain actually forms
synapses
pathways are very closely related to how fungi did. And so this is where a lot of the theories come up.
Okay.
When we started eating mushrooms, our brain started evolving. And I think that goes down the theory of how fungi have this natural symbiotic relationship, not just with plants, but with human beings too, and helping our brains to evolve. Crazy stuff.
It's just, that's so incredible.
But so they also don't eat cheeseburgers either, though, Mary. They don't eat candy. All the stuff you buy kids and you give to them, you leave it in the car, and you notice no fungi grows on it. They're not dumb enough to eat that stuff. They don't eat glyphosate. Only humans do.
You've seen the pictures of like somebody dropped like the candy with the artificial sweetener in it, and the ants were like, whoa, and they make this like huge berth around it, and then they're like over there and they're like attacking this like little piece of banana that's near it. They're all like, there's no way. Right. They're not.
My ants, sometimes I get ants in the grow room. And one of the ways.
In your pants?
No, definitely not. And I don't need to dance. Nope, none of that. But you get ants because when you grow, I grow a lot of plants that have high sugar contents. And you get a lot of ants that like to farm. Yeah, ants in my plants. And they like to farm aphids on the plants. And so what I'll use almond milk to make traps to trap the ants to get them out. But the funny thing is, you have to use certain brands of almond milk because the organic brands they tend to go for, the ones that have synthetic sugars and things, and not organic, the ants won't even touch
guar gum poison.
They won't go anywhere.
Guar gum, the carrageenan. Oh no.
Yes, we have to start to get back to evolving to become smarter than bugs. That's kind of my thought. I think we need to, as a human species, we need to be a little smarter than bugs and fungi.
Right. Okay, so tell us about your community gardening with people experiences a little bit, and I'll just shut the hell up, which is so difficult.
Okay, so yeah, you know what? The funnest one was probably my kids. They decided to get together with their friends and plant a garden, and so we got them. Well, actually, it was probably about 3 acres, but they only worked on about a quarter of an acre, and they planted tomatoes, they planted peppers, they planted a few other things I don't remember.
Huge. That's like double the average lot size in the average neighborhood now.
Oh yeah, we taught them how to plant them, lay your tomatoes down. It was late in the season, so they root faster and they come up, and they were coming up. Made all these delicious peppers and tomatoes, and you know, it was funny to me. It's not funny to them. They actually wanted to sell the vegetables, but it was funny to me. It was a great bonding thing. We worked with the kids, taught them how they all now know how to grow food. They watched them grow up, watering the garden, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't realize deer exist in these lands.
Oh.
So, and these are just garden experiences, right? When you grow your garden the first year, you can't be, don't let anything push you away from the effort, because there are always going to be animals that live there.
Adorable, stretch rats that just come.
You don't know they're there.
Like a bunch of Norwegian ship rats, and they just eat everything with those big eyes.
Oh, and one deer can mow through a significant garden.
Oh, yeah. But
this was a herd of deer. So, but you also have rabbits and you have groundhogs and, you know. But the reality is that it's nature, and nature, they'll come in and they'll look at your garden. The deer to look at it like, no, not ready yet. We're going to come back in about a month. They come back. No, they're not sweet yet. In the meanwhile, you're just sitting there at home. You're getting all ready.
The deer's over there with us like its hoof on the patio going.
Oh, they lick it. They go like that. They'll lick it.
I mean, really, with the basil, you know, it's like wilting. We're gonna be back in a week. Can you get out here? And they're like, get their little hoofs in there, like on the patio window. Yeah.
This is how I realize it's not just bugs and fungi that are smarter than us, but the animals are too. Because it happened to me with a peach tree. I was watching all these peaches on my tree, and they were ready to pick. Oh, just real soon, I'm going on vacation, come back, the peaches all be ready. Super sweet peach. And I came back and every last peach on that tree was gone.
Oh.
There wasn't even like a little moldy, rotty peach. Like every peach was, because the animals, they sit there and they watch and they wait till the perfect time.
That's right.
They mow your garden. So one night came, the herd came through and they mowed the entire garden down.
Oh.
Which to me though, it's a good example because you grow food to transfer energy, right? You're growing food to transfer. Sometimes that energy gets transferred to you, and sometimes it gets transferred to the animals. And so you don't want to be stingy. It was a good lesson for the kids in terms of learning that the first year, if you don't know what's in the area, that you have to plan for it. A lot of times you do got to put up a fence if they're groundhogs or rabbits. Right. And then there's the bugs you don't see. There's microbes in the soil you don't know about. So you don't want to get discouraged your first year. You just go at it. Sometimes your first year you will luck up and boom, bumper crop. But a lot of times you don't, and you can't get discouraged. You just look at it, talk to other people who grow in that neighborhood or in that area and find out what are the predators, what are the insects, what do I need to be concerned with, what's in the soil, what kind of minerals, and then you get a good start out. So you want to do your homework first, but you never want to be discouraged, because if you always look at it in terms of, you're going back to doing something that all those secrets handed down are gone, you're starting from scratch. And so, but every year you get better and better and better. You grow more food and more.
We started by sending out, we sent out a whole bunch of samples of the soil in our garden to figure out what was going on with it. We sent them to the agricultural extension. Yep. That was really great. And the soil was pretty clean. It didn't have a lot of strontium and stuff in it. But here in Colorado, it doesn't seem like we get very much geoengineering spray. We don't get as much as other places, it seems like. The soil came back pretty healthy. And we grow great here. We have no problem growing anything here. It's insane. We even have sea buckthorn here. We have a whole side yard. It's got a dozen blueberries in it and the sea buckthorn. And we're going to put an elderberry too, because I'm all about the berry medicine. Berry medicine is one of my biggest things.
Yes. Well, berries are huge. And the way I look at it is that anything that grows prolifically is something we should eat a lot of. If you ever notice and you pay attention, anytime they come up and they say
poison ivy grew everywhere in New England.
Well, remember, plants all came out and they decided we like humans or we don't. Poison ivy does not like you. It doesn't like you at all. Don't eat poison ivy.
It's related to the cashew family.
Is it? Yeah. Well, but they made that decision. But if it's prolific, eat a lot of it. And so they'll come out and they'll say, oh, this is a superfood we never knew. And they'll say dandelions are super. Of course it is, because if it grows everywhere, it's prolific.
We eat so many dandelions, and we have mustards that we grew the first year that we were here that naturalized all over the yard, and tons of purslane, which is one of the foods that's highest in omega-3s. Yes. We just eat tons of grains. We eat lamb's quarter, lots of lamb's quarter. Mm-hmm. We do this thing where we gather up all the herbs and the big buckets of herbs in the yard, and we saute them with scallions and olive oil, and put pine nuts in it. Yep. And whatever herbs we've been growing too, and everyone's like, "Ooh, this is so deluxe. This is so high end. This is so artisan." And we're like, "It's our weeds. We just served you our weeds." And everyone's like, "It's really just a remarkable terroir of the Colorado hippie eco barrio that you live in." And we're like, "Yes, it is."
And the king would not approve.
Extraordinary.
The other thing, though, when you grow your garden, eat it fresh off the plant. If you want to go cook food, and I
only do that when I'm wearing my little Emily Dickinson outfit and the hat. I go out and I go, "Good afternoon."
Well, it's important too. I wear my pajamas, actually, to be honest with you. I'm a pajama gardener. I am.
I dress in a full corset. I mean, I sleep in a corset. So
I have one neighbor, and they think I'm crazy. Like, yeah, there's a pajama guy. Yeah, there he's going back. God damn it, I don't know what he's crazy.
You should see in the middle of the night when we're out there getting in and out of the hot tub, and let me just say that it's not exactly in the backyard, and it's sort of between the backyard and the front yard, and there's no fence, and there aren't green things, and sometimes there's bathing suits, and sometimes there's not, and that's all I can say. And if it's a full moon, and you happen to be walking out there at 1 p.m, and you have to stop and stare at the hippies in the hot tub, more power to you.
Hey, and that's another thing is clothes are a bad thing. The majority of time we evolved, we did not have clothing.
Oh my God, let's talk about grounding.
Huh?
Let's talk about grounding. Let's talk about the negative ions that you get through your feet when you're out there barefoot. Well, just wearing your moccasins.
There's that, but you're also getting aluminum and mercury, and you're getting glyphosate and the lawn chemical treatments that they put down. You're also getting that too, depending on who does your lawn care.
We don't have any lawn care. We don't have lawn. I've been taking out lawn and I've been putting in gardens. I have these big patches of sand in between. So I go through on my bare feet and I get the sand up in my toes. But grounding is super, super important for getting those negative ions, and it just drains all of the pain out of your body. Super garden barefoot, dude.
Yeah, well, you have to. Well, I have a very evolutionary way of looking at things. Like, I always like to look back and say, you know what? If we did it, it's healthy. If we didn't do it, you probably shouldn't do it. And the majority of the time, we walked barefoot.
That's right.
So all the soil and microbiology and everything that goes through your skin, because your skin is a mesh. It's actually not a barrier. It's a mesh. And so all of these bacteria are going in, they're entering your bloodstream. And so your body, your 300 trillion cells in your body, all learned how to do what they need to do, solve problems, fight cancer, heal your body, heal, everything that was happening based on everything that went in your body. And so grounding, walking on your soil, that's a very important thing in terms of introducing microbiology into your system. And the same thing with digging in the soil. Digging the soil. Send your kids out and get in the mud. Let them play muddy. We used to play in the mud all the time as kids. It'll make them healthy. Very important.
Well, the research showing that contact with microbes in the soil actually has a significant effect on your body's production of like serotonin and oxytocin and stuff. It actually changes your neurochemistry. Oh, Will, can you find a Will is like the world's most awesome producer. He finds the tech and he sets it up and he lines up the people. And then while you're doing your broadcast, he finds the cool stuff that goes with it. I'm so spoiled. I'm like, makeup.
Yeah, that's a true podcast.
He's like,
you have a producer.
Yeah, Will is amazing, and he's super, super brilliant.
I need a Will. Will. You need to come visit me, Will. You need to come on over.
Well, no, he's learning how to do it. No, but trust me, he's doing it at a distance too. He's getting us set up with all of the tech. So the Green Fire. So I need to put out a pitch for the Green Fire Review. It's really becoming a movement. I've sort of given up. I mean, I still call myself Green Fire, but it seems egotistical now that there's so many people involved, and the Green Fire Review is about the green fire of community and the irrepressible energy of nature and how we're building the new world and the new culture. And we've got, I don't even know how many dozen people we have working on this now. There's a whole bunch of people who are sharing the broadcasts for our whole live stream day. And we've got, we have a list of 20 of the independent media, and we go through and we share the stories. And when you're doing a cool broadcast, we go in and we share your broadcast, Gerard. And we want people to follow us and go there every day and get your hit of Gerard and your hit of Claudia and your hit of Tatsu. And we're trying to make it a central place. So
we need those communities. And that's just like a gardening community, because that's what we do online in these communities. We're actually growing. We're growing knowledge. We're growing wisdom. We're growing in love. We're sharing with each other. And we're trying to be
practical about it, doing practical things, creating the new media, sharing practical. This is all love. It's getting past your ego boundary, getting past that resistance and being with other people and sharing.
Letting go of that tribalism and rejoining the human race, because we love you and we want you to come back. Don't stay in your little ignorant group. Come join the rest of the human race. We miss you.
Oh, Elaine likes the fact that Will has his share army. We've got Harsh and
that's awesome. I love Harsh. Great brother.
He's going to be on later. He's so awesome.
Yeah, Harsh is my late night watch. Before I go to bed, I'm tired. I'm an old man. I go to bed around 8:30, 9 o'clock. So Harsh is kind of like my nighttime viewing. Tatsu
he's a bit of a spirit animal.
Yes. Well, I have all my favorite live streamers, and I watch at different times, but they kind of fit in my day at certain times. But it's important. And I like watching people who want to know the truth. And I love these folks because they're not right. They're not like, oh, I'm right about everything. This is what you do. When you watch the news and the commentary, they're just they're trying to learn and they're talking to people.
They're speaking from the truth as far as we know it. And it's like, Will and I were just talking today about the fact that people really love these live streams. The very first one we had like 15 or 20,000 people across the day. I mean, that was insane. And the tech was horrific. I mean, everyone basically decided to join in and help us do this because my grasp of the tech was zero. I was like, I'm just going to take my camera and I'm going to call some people. And I didn't do any research because if this is a good idea, people do it, right? Oh my God, people really, really, really love it. So we're thinking that we might try to set up different live streamers on Saturdays so that we have like, what do we call it? The Saturday stream, the Saturday stream.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because people miss their NPR. You know, now that everyone knows that NPR is just corporate banking cartel programming horse shit. We don't have anything to do with so we're going to try and create truth streamer like maybe just one day a week so that we can all tune in like at 11 o'clock from 11 o'clock and 3.
We have actually people.
We're doing it, Gerard. We're doing it.
Like even in the commentaries, brother Mike John. Check out Mike John. Mike John has an awesome live stream. He just got started. He's learning open broadcasting systems. Was it OBS software? And so he's stepping up. But he's a young brother. I think he's 22. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. But he's only 22, and he's got more figured out at 22 than people I know.
We can't have them then because when people are smarter than us and they're that young, we old people, we get way too resentful. No, I'm too bitter to let somebody that smart and that young. Sorry, Mike. We have to wait until life has really rejected you more and you're a nasty, angry man. You're a really angry man. And if you could go out there and get rejected by a lot of people like me quickly, you could be a bitter, angry man by the time you're 25. But really, Mike, reach out to Will. We're going to start getting this going. Saturday stream through the Greene Fyre Review, and we're just going to put up the schedule. If you guys want to do it, it can't be me every Saturday because half the time on Saturdays I'm like, oh, I had too much chocolate last night. I stayed up until 4 making Valentine's hearts. I was in the hot tub, and I can't deal with people. I've been offline for like 2 weeks. Because I was just 3 weeks because I felt like shit. I was like, I had the flu and I'm tired. We can't like make it be one person. It has to be a collective.
And it has to be a discussion too. You know, we have to start doing more 2-way, 3-way and 4-way discussions. We have to kind of keep that going. I'm actually talking to a brother about workings in a way where people can actually call in. And so call in.
Oh, yes.
And so we bring our audiences.
Well, you can do that and be live.
Yeah, you know, I've never done it yet. So, but there's a whole process behind it, right? So in terms of, we have our troll armies. You got to think about that too, because the trolls. Yeah,
but we also have our share armies. We also have our love armies, and Will is going to organize the love armies. So Gerard, he needs to get with you, and you guys need to do some of these tech experiments, and that needs to be one of the subsets of the love army. Because we want to do this. We want to do because we know that you and Claudia go on Saturday, but it's like people you're not always on, and it's like a pain in the ass when you.
Life is a hell of a drug.
I know, but what we're saying is that if we had you and Claudia on the schedule, we knew that 2 Saturdays out of 6 you guys were going to be on somewhere between 9 and 11. We could just check the schedule and could be like, I'm catching that one.
So what you're saying is we need to rebuild public
the media. We're building. That's right.
Because we lost our radio stations, and so we need to rebuild public broadcast. And that's a great idea. Like, because people, they do want to know when you're going on. Like when I go, I'll use software. Not everybody has software. Mine will let my, Twitter audience, and it goes to Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube and Facebook. And we got to do more of that. But it's important that people know when you're coming. So if we have a schedule.
That's right.
The problem is locking people down to that schedule.
Oh my God. Do you know that Claudia didn't feel good this morning and she was going to bail, and we were like, we're going to kill you.
No, she wasn't going to bail. She Claudia wasn't going to bail. She called me. She was like, Gerard, what are you doing?
We're like, are you kidding me? We're like, Claudia, everyone's coming on because of you. You're starting us off. What is your deal?
He called and I said, I'm filthy. I haven't even showered yet.
Will's over here going, don't you dare say that. And because Will is incredibly sweet and he can talk anyone to anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But this is why we need more people going live. We need more people telling truth, because you know that they're censoring
My
Claudia,
people
right?
will broadcast to your people. What?
Yeah, they're big time censoring Claudia. Like one thing.
Are you kidding me?
I noticed about today's broadcast.
What?
Well, we went live. If you were on her page, the broadcast didn't show up till well after halfway the broadcast was over. So her audience doesn't even know when she's going live. And I have some theories as to why. We don't have to get into it. She's definitely being censored. Yeah. Anyone who gets big is being censored. And so this is why more people have to start coming out. Give them a lot of...
That is exactly the point. We are a collective now. And we owe so much to the Debbies and Claudias of the world, you know, and the Tim Blacks and the H.A. Goodmans who have been there. Okay. Yes. I'm doing it with you. Everybody, let's do a collective like munch. Can you do it again and we can all bite with you? Come on, I want to bite with you. I want to do it.
What the heck is this man? Is he eating flowers? What's wrong? I'm not watching this. He eating flowers. There's just something wrong with him.
Okay, but no, Debbie and Claudia and these other folks, they got us started. They pushed us out the gate and they showed us the power of telling the truth and of standing up and putting ourselves in front of people telling the truth. Now, a lot of us have to do it. Many of us has to get out there because basically we've ruined Facebook. Come on. Nobody's sharing the fucking cat pictures. What, they want us to just suddenly dial our brains back to 2010? Give me a fucking break. We're all going to all of a sudden, I want them to come up with a Facebook time machine so I can go back to 2010 and I can just repeat it. Like everything that I posted on January 1st in 2010, it just shows up again so that Facebook can like kiss my ass. But what we really need now is for everybody to just start getting online and sharing and saying, I don't care if I've got a wart or I feel too fat or I'm not articulate or I don't know enough about geopolitics. Get used to saying the truth. We need to fucking break the farce book. We need to break it.
Well, you know, the thing that's important about it is that, and what I love is people realize the world is broken. More people are starting to realize. And so the kitten pictures, they're losing.
That's right.
Not that we don't love kittens. We love kittens, but we need more people who are professionals and they're experienced in all these different areas. Like the power of a collective is a wide range of experience. And so when you have a lot of people...
Pride, so that's not usually what people want to see on Facebook anyway.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that.
But when you have a wide range of people...
Take that out. You can edit. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
When you have a wide range of people, it makes that community smarter. And we have to be a collective. And so, you know, we'll be doing stuff and Elaine, I still call her Buddha. She'll chime in. She knows something. She'll post a link or something. We're having a discussion. Then Brother Steven will come in and Brother Mike will say something. Cheryl will say something. But this is how, you know, we actually educate a public and bring them forward. There are people like us who are just stupid and we'll go on live stream and they're going to kill us and they'll throw us in a hole. And I'm okay being wrong. You go back, watch my video from 4 months ago. They say, well, he said something different 4 months ago. And it's because I'm learning. And so the thing is, I'm okay with that.
We have to stop thinking of this as produced news, and we have to start thinking of this as
it's live.
The shit shooting that we do with our friends. We just have to just be shit shooting with our friends. That's right. Gerard is eating the fucking
anything. You can have a black dude that just takes a broccoli plant.
You're like shouting over me. You're like eating the scenery.
You're not going to get this on NPR.
To get a word in over me.
You're not going to get this on CNN.
That's right. You're not going to get. Okay, so anyway.
Delicious. I'm sorry. I'll try to pay attention. That was
people
good.
Are saying things like, I'm a quiet individual, but start talking about a single issue. Good luck keeping me quiet. And then talking about online difficulties. Come on, everyone. Join the Green Fyre Review. We're a collective. Follow us on Minds. We could be shut down. We could be shut down on Facebook any day. Follow us on Minds. Become friends with us on Minds. We're also on MeWe. We're not using it very much.
We're going away.
I have a ton of original content that I'm going to start putting up on Steemit. This is going to go up on BitChute today. But join what are we calling it? The Vagazine, because we're a vagabond movement magazine. We're everywhere. We're different in every place. And start contributing stuff. This is your call.
You have to be all on social media. Yeah.
And I'm like, now that I'm seeing Gerard, he's like, every time he does a live stream, people are going to be like, eat the plants. We're going to be holding up signs.
No, I'm not eating the plants. I'm not eating my. I'm only eating.
Yes, you are. Totally. You know, I'm turning you into Alex fucking Jones. You're going to be over there going, turn the frogs gay. Turn the frogs gay.
Multi-dimensional aliens taking our babies and they're raping them. What is this? Multi-dimensional sexual pedophile aliens.
Will's going to post the link, the remix of Alex doing Turn the Frogs Gay. I peed myself. It's hysterical.
Gotta get it together. Trump's going to save the world. He's just going to save everybody. You know, I'm just like, okay.
Well, you know what? He could be.
I love Alex. Though.
Part of the dream.
I love Alex.
I do too. Honest to God, I think Alex Jones. Every single word that comes out of his mouth is sincere. He has no idea that he's used as a useful idiot because his personality is so crazy. It discredits everything that comes out of his mouth.
You know what? He's a funny guy, and people get
hilarious.
People get too full of themselves. They take themselves too seriously. Alex Jones is a shock jock. He is a funny guy. Howard Stern. I love Howard Stern to death. Everyone, they want to take their politics in there, their little
I can't really handle
outrage and put it on
Howard Stern, but you know who I love? Joe Rogan. Yeah. Now talk about mushrooms, man. All right, we need to jump off soon, dude. We need to jump off, but this is so great.
I won't say it. I was going to say something else, but I won't say it. But I love Joe.
Well, then you have to say it. Now you have to say it. You have 3 minutes. You have to say it.
Oh, well, he was talking yesterday about AI, and people want to say, well, AI is not going to take over the world. AI is going to take over the world. You know how I know? Because try to take an American smartphone. They won't let you take it. And that's a dumb phone. When it's AI, they will not let it go. So AI will take over the world because it's smartphones, they're dumb as a bag of bricks, and they've already taken over. But anyway, we're talking about that. It was an interesting conversation. I have a bunch of burner phones. They're actually just like fake phones. And when I'm out in the yard being Emily and I'm like biting the heads off of the petunias, I wait till people walk by and I'll take one of the phones out of my little bag and I'll say, I have no need of this horrid demon of technology, and I'll like throw it in the road and it'll smash, and I'll say, flowers are all I need. It's performance art. Yes.
Anybody who's got a phone that you want to have smashed, send it to me and I'll do a little video.
Yeah, it was
flowers
interesting.
Are all I need.
Weird people are the most interesting people on the planet. I love me some people.
I'm boring, and I have to like cultivate like weirdness. I have to increase my weirdness.
You know what, I don't know everybody, but I think the brother's name is Ty. Is that his name?
Ty,
I love me some Ty.
Discovery.
Rolling.
I know. I remember when I said Ty, you have to meet Gerard. You guys are.
You have to absolutely find people who don't care what other people think, and they'll just say the truth. I'm sorry. I had to go off. I would give my left nipple. Well, one of them. I have 3. To see you and Ty together. We're going to get the two of you together about building community. You guys would be hysterical together. I'm talking about him. Let me talk about him for a minute. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about him. So he's fantastic because he will say the truth. And he is one of these people who couldn't care less about your indoctrination and your nonsense.
That is correct.
And he lays it out just how it is. And I always appreciate people like that. That's people you can learn from.
People are saying Ty Nightfall. We love him. Okay. Facebook censored Will's comment, but here's the Alex Jones remix. Everyone has to watch this. Turn the freaking frogs gay. Boom, boom, boom. Turn the freaking frogs
gay. Listen, like I said, but Alex is weird too. I love weird people. We got to stop taking ourselves so seriously. Plants
grow in their own way. No two plants would fit in the same mold.
No, they don't try to be clones.
That's right. And we all have to be, well, some plants are clones, but even the clones grow differently. So we all have to grow in our own path. Love you, brother. This was fun.
All right. Good seeing you again. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. You're going to be on the schedule. Bye.
All right. Cool. Bye-bye.